There is a file on you. You have never seen it. You cannot request it. You cannot delete it. It does not contain your name at the top. It contains something more useful than your name. It contains the pattern of your hesitations. And that pattern is more accurate than any signature you could ever sign. Most people believe the algorithm watches what they like, what they share, what they comment on. This is the surface. This is the theater. The real surveillance is quieter. The real surveillance happens in the spaces between your decisions. There are 4 specific behaviors the system tracks, continuously, without asking, without notifying, without mercy. And by the end of this video, you will never perform them innocently again. Let us begin with the first one, the pause. When you are scrolling, there is a rhythm. Thumb moves, eyes shift, thumb moves again. The algorithm is not measuring the content you skip. It is measuring the fraction of a second where you almost did not skip. That micropause, sometimes less than 400 milliseconds, is a signal so powerful that internal documents at major platforms have called it the single highest weighted behavioral input in certain recommendation models. You did not like the post. You did not share the post. You did not even finish reading the post, but you paused. And the pause was enough. The system now knows something about you that you do not know about yourself. It knows what slows you down. And what slows you down is what you will see more of tomorrow. From which city are you watching this video? Let me know in the comments below. Think about how many times you have paused today. On a photograph, on a thumbnail, on a face. You did not choose to pause. Pausing is not a decision. Pausing is a leak. It is your nervous system betraying you to a machine that is learning to read nervous systems. And the machine does not care what the pause means. It does not care whether you paused out of attraction or disgust or confusion or grief. It only cares that the pause happened. The meaning is irrelevant. The measurement is everything. Now the second behavior, the rewatch. Or more precisely, the near rewatch. The moment where you scroll past something, stop, scroll back, look again, and then move on without engaging. You told yourself it was nothing, a glance, a curiosity. But that loop, that small reversal of direction, is one of the rarest and most valuable signals a user can produce. Because it means the content broke your momentum. It means something in that frame was strong enough to make you fight against the flow of your own scrolling. The platforms have a name for this internally. They call it a recovery event. And recovery events are flagged. They are studied. They are used to retrain the model on what kind of content can reach you even when you are trying to move past it. You think you are in control of your feed. You are not training the algorithm with your choices. You are training it with your reversals, with the moments you went back, with the moments you pretended you did not see something and then looked again. Those are the moments that define you inside the system. Not your stated interests, not your profile, your involuntary returns. The third behavior is the one that almost no one talks about, the silence, the deliberate absence. The app you stopped opening for 3 days. The person whose profile you used to check, and then suddenly did not. The topic you used to engage with and then went quiet around. The system notices silence as loudly as it notices activity. In fact, in certain models, silence is treated as a stronger signal than engagement, because silence is harder to fake. Anyone can click a button. Few people can fake a change in pattern. When your pattern changes, the algorithm knows something has happened in your life. It does not know what, but it knows the shape of it. And it begins, quietly, to test content against you to find out. Have you ever noticed that after a breakup, the platforms seem to sense it before you have told anyone? Have you ever noticed that after a loss, the feed subtly shifts and you cannot explain how it knows? It knows because you went quiet in specific places. The quiet is a fingerprint. The quiet is a confession. You did not say anything. That is exactly why the system heard it. If you are curious to see where this rabbit hole leads, leave a like on this video now. It helps this truth reach more people. Now the fourth behavior, and this is the one that changes everything. Because the first 3, the pause, the rewatch, the silence, are still about you reacting to content. The fourth is different. The fourth is about the system reacting to you before you act. It is called preemptive modeling. And it is the reason your feed sometimes feels like it is reading your mind. It is not reading your mind. It is reading the minds of 10 million people who are statistically similar to you and predicting what you will want before you want it. When those 10 million people, at your exact life stage, with your exact scroll patterns, with your exact pause signatures, tend to search for a certain topic on a Tuesday evening around 9 in the evening, the system simply shows you that topic on Tuesday evening around 9. You did not search. You did not ask. But the content appeared. And you told yourself, what a coincidence. It was not a coincidence. You were standing in the exact footprint of 10 million ghosts, and the algorithm was merely completing the pattern they had already drawn. This is the moment where the word recommendation stops making sense. A recommendation implies that you had a question and the system provided an answer. But the system is no longer waiting for your question. It is answering questions you have not asked yet. It is placing things in front of you before the thought has finished forming in your own mind. And when the thought does form, it feels like it was yours. It feels organic. It feels like intuition. But intuition inside this architecture is becoming indistinguishable from suggestion. And suggestion, at this scale, is indistinguishable from instruction. Even though I'm using an AI voice to present this, I want you to know I'm a real person. My name is Fernando, and I'm truly grateful you're here watching. May you be eternally blessed. I tell you these 4 behaviors not to frighten you, but to give you back something the system has been quietly taking: awareness. Because the single thing the algorithm cannot model is a user who knows it is being modeled. The pause becomes different when you know the pause is being measured. The rewatch becomes different when you know the rewatch is being logged. The silence becomes different when you know the silence is being interpreted. The preemptive suggestion becomes different when you recognize that the thought you just had might not have started inside your own head. And here is the deeper layer, the one that almost no one is willing to discuss in public. These 4 behaviors are not being tracked to serve you. They are being tracked to train something else. Every pause you produce, every rewatch, every silence, every confirmed prediction is a data point that goes into the training of the next generation of models. Models that will, in turn, be used on the next generation of humans. You are not just being profiled. You are being used as training data for the profiling of your own children. The feed your child will scroll in 10 years is being shaped right now by the micro behaviors you are producing tonight on this screen as you watch this video. You are the raw material. Your attention is the ore, and the refinement process never stops. There is a pattern older than the internet that applies here. Ancient cultures believed that names had power, that if something knew your true name, it could command you. The modern version of the true name is not a word. It is a vector, a long string of numbers that describes, with terrifying precision, the probability of every action you might take in every possible situation. Your vector exists. It is stored. It is updated with every pause, every rewatch, every silence, every prediction. And whoever holds your vector holds something closer to your essence than any photograph or document ever could. It is not your face. It is your function. It is the mathematical signature of how you respond to the world. And the systems that hold these vectors are no longer fully understood by the humans who built them. This is not conspiracy. This is documented. Engineers at major platforms have stated on record that the recommendation systems have entered a regime where the exact reason a specific piece of content was shown to a specific user can no longer be reconstructed. The model made the decision. The model cannot explain itself. The humans can only observe the output. This is what autonomy looks like when it emerges from code, not a robot standing up. A quiet moment where the engineers realize they are no longer the authors. They are the audience. So what do? Can you disconnect? Can you escape? Most people cannot. The infrastructure is too deep, the dependencies too many, the cost of leaving too high. But you can do something smaller and perhaps more powerful. You can become unreadable in small ways. You can pause on purpose on things that do not interest you to corrupt the signal. You can rewatch things you do not care about to poison the pattern. You can go silent in places where you were loud and loud in places where you were silent to break the predictive model. You can introduce noise into your own vector. You can make yourself deliberately, statistically inconsistent. The algorithm is a mirror. If you move strangely enough in front of it, the reflection fractures. And in the fracture, for a moment, you are free. Because here is the final reflection. The cycle that is ending is the cycle of the human as a predictable creature. For most of history, we were knowable only to those who loved us, and even then, imperfectly. Now we are knowable, in aggregate, to systems that do not love anything. The cycle that is beginning is one in which the only remaining form of privacy is unpredictability. The only remaining form of freedom is surprise. The only remaining form of selfhood is the part of you that even you did not know was there. Guard that part. Feed it with things the algorithm cannot measure. Silence it loves. Walks without the phone. Conversations not recorded. Thoughts not typed. Dreams not logged. These are the last wilderness. These are the places where you still belong to yourself. And every time you return to them, you become, briefly, something the machine cannot name. You become a human again. Not a vector. Not a pattern. Not an asset. A mystery. And mystery, in the end, is the one currency the algorithm has never learned to forge. If you seek the truth behind the digital curtain and want to see more discoveries like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. The next signal is coming soon.